following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Tier Tuesdays here with the HighLowSports podcast, where every week we take all the NFL teams based on their recent performances and put them into tiers. It is DJ, joined as always by my co-host Kelsey. And Kelsey, this was a record-breaking week, to say the least, with some ups, some downs, some topsies, some turvies, and we're going to have a lot of fun putting some of these teams into tiers.
Yeah, there was a track meet down in Miami, by the way, and then very, very one-sided track meet. It was like 70-year-old geriatrics versus 22-year-old college kids. It was an intense week. It was very interesting to see. So let's just jump straight into it. There's no point in trying to come up with fancy words. There was enough fanciness on the field on Sunday.
All right, we're going to take a look at the tiers, and you're going to break it down for us, what we need to change and what just feels right. So we're going to go ahead and break it out now. Start from the bottom and work our way to the top. When you give up 70 points, you are at the bottom. That rules is rules. Sean Payton took a shot at Nathaniel Hackett right when he started, saying the worst coaching job we've ever seen. Well, he never gave up 70 and lost by 50. So you earned your spot here, Sean Payton. Next, we got USC season ticket holders. They are watching Caleb Williams with very keen eyes. We got the Chicago Bears after also losing by 35+. The Cardinals with a frisky win, but you are still kind of in that territory right now. The Jets, we already know that same song, same story, different chapter. The Raiders, things are still rough there. Jimmy G and Kush protocol. Maybe Aiden O'Connell comes out and starts slinging it like a young Drew Brees or something. We'll have to wait and see. And the Vikings, they have a lot of issues. Kirk Cousins really isn't the issue, but at this point, you might as well just tank and reset that quarterback clock and have a bunch of free money. Next, we got not frisky or fun, but they're definitely flawed. We got the Jaguars, who now dropping to 1-2. They definitely got some work to do. Calvin Ridley, since week 1, has come back down to earth, which neither of us like, as we like him in fantasy. The New York Giants, who 1-2 once again with one good half of football and yet to score a point in the first half this season, if I'm not mistaken. If not, they have not scored a lot. We got the Panthers 0-3. Bryce Young injured, not looking great right now. New England Patriots coming off just an absolutely hideous win, and your quarterback sack tapping people, and your defense is too good to lose out and reset the quarterback clock too. The Rams coming off what was a tough competitive game against the Bengals, but still resulting in a loss, and Matthew Stafford getting absolutely assaulted. And then the Tennessee Titans accumulating 94 yards against the Browns through 4 quarters. And Derrick Henry with 20 rushing yards and a team total of 27. Just rough. Frisky, flawed, and fun for this one. We got the Detroit Lions, who look to be back and kicking. The Cincinnati Bengals, Jamar Chase. We have found Jamar Chase. He is alive and he is well. So, you know what? Maybe Joe Burrow, if he can throw the ball in 1.7 seconds every play, we might have something there. Cleveland Browns, best defense in football, and I will not be told otherwise right now. Los Angeles Chargers, who, despite the Mike Williams injury, they think they finally kind of found something. Kellen Moore found something with that playbook. Justin Herbert was electric, so much so. And even Keenan Allen threw a touchdown pass. The AFC South leading Indianapolis Colts. Didn't think I'd say that in the year 2023, but here they are with Gardner Minshew helping, I'm not going to say lead the way, but not throw the train off the train tracks against Baltimore. Green Bay Packers with a 17-0 halftime deficit, coming back to win 18-17 against the Saints. It's so weird. Then we got the Seattle Seahawks. Weirdly good game against the Panthers without Bryce Young, but able to come out on top. K9 looking basically like he's back in Michigan State. Houston Texans and passing yards, if I'm not mistaken, leader CJ Stroud right now too, putting on a clinic, unblinkable in the face of pressure. Maybe 1-2, but they have something there at the quarterback position. And the Steelers exclusively for the defense, but those flaws is basically offense minus George Pickens at this point. The 2-0 curse. We saw 6 teams that were 2-0 all get the O had to go with Tampa Bay, Dallas, Washington, Falcons, Ravens, and Saints. Some of them really, really embarrassing losses, like the Commanders against the Bills getting ramrodded, and the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals, even the Ravens losing to Gardner Minshew. And then we got Super Bowl contenders. You got the 49ers, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles, exactly what we kind of expected coming into the year. The Dolphins, as we mentioned, you score 70, you get a tier of your own. Good luck, everybody else, because that was without Jalen. That was without Jalen squared. So when those two come back, have fun, everyone else. And then Travis Kelce gets vigilante shit. He's earned his own tier. No, not much more needs to be said there. If you know, you know at this point. So, Kelce, take it apart. Where are we looking?
First of all, let me just say I love the namesake up there in his own category. It's well deserved. The man has the most to lose and the most to gain out of this. So congratulations to him. I'm going to reverse it from last week. Last week I went from bottom down. This week I'm going top down. Yes, Dolphins. Good luck, everyone else. That is a track meet down there. You can't tell me anything otherwise. The 7 fastest plays in the NFL so far have all been Dolphins players. So Yeah, no, it's not. Good luck. Literally, good luck, everybody.
Our biggest concern with them was Tua. He's been hit 4 times this year. He's been sacked once.
Yeah.
So they basically eliminated our biggest fear, and now they're the roster that we were both basically terrified of if they could stay healthy.
That offensive line somehow did a 180 overnight between the end of preseason and the starting of the regular season. I don't know what happened. I will maybe losing Terran Armstead for the single game he was going to lose. Like that was enough. But yeah, it's absolutely wild what's happening with the Dolphins. And to the point where Devin Achane gave you 32 points in fantasy this last weekend, depending on your PPR league.
I'd say in PPR, he crossed 50.
Yeah. So absolutely insane. So yeah, they might be in a tier above a tier away from everybody else if we really wanted to go there. But yeah, we're going to move down. Still Super Bowl contenders still, yeah. San Francisco, of course. Buffalo, of course. Kansas City, of course, especially with Vigilante tight end out there practicing his 1989 versus. Yeah, absolutely. And then the Eagles with their own version of Kelsey and Swift. Yes, doing some incredible things out there in Philly as well. To the point where I had two Philadelphia players on my fantasy team going into Monday night, and I was going against a guy who had one, and his one guy outscored my two guys, even though one of my guys was the quarterback. It was sad. Yeah, it was absolutely sad. But you know what? It's you don't know who's gonna eat that every night for the Eagles, but you know it's gonna be one of 3 players for the most part. So yeah, good luck trying to pick your poison there. 2-0 curse. Yes, with the Bucks, it was just a matter of time. Truthfully, it was just somebody was going to come out and get them. And you just knew it was going to happen. It felt weird having Baker be 2-0 and on top of the league right now. You know, that just didn't seem right. Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay 2-0. That's just what doesn't make sense. Dallas, the ultimate letdown, if you will. If you saw them coming into warmups, you kind of had the same thought as me, as like, oh boy, this is not going to be a good game for Dallas. Lo and behold, it was not. Not even really competitive. Maybe Trayvon Diggs does mean that much. I don't know. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Washington is a 2-0 curse, yes, but at the same time, I mean, they're almost in that frisky, flawed, and fun category as well. Yes, their defensive line is fantastic, but I don't know. I feel like the first 2 weeks might have been a surprise.
If they get blasted this week, they are definitely going to be taking a dip right now as well. But one, I basically gave all those 2-0 teams credit for getting there, but you all somehow lost this week.
Yeah, no, and just going through them. I mean, the Falcons, obviously, we know there's a lot of question marks there. So, but yeah, you make it 2-0 and you lose. Baltimore with probably the most disappointing loss out of the 2-0 teams potentially. And then New Orleans, you had to turn to Jameis, and that's never good when you lose your starting quarterback. Obviously, Jameis is a very capable backup. I'm not concerned about him long term if he starts. More concerned about Carr's arm, but not concerned about the Saints' progression in the season. I think they might actually be better off for having Jameis instead of Carr, maybe potentially down the road. So yeah, 2-0 curse. That all makes sense. Frisky, flawed, and fun. This one's I'm going to skip pretty much this entire line because everybody. You mentioned the Browns being potentially the best defense. By the way, they've only given up 32 points all season long, which is the lowest in the NFL. So you're absolutely right. They are the best defense in the league. But I want to stick with that points for and points against conversation because I'm going to the very last team on this list in the Steelers. There is only one division leader in the entire NFL with a negative points for versus points against, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have scored a measly 56 points and have given up 70 total points.
Their defense scored 2 of those touchdowns.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, you really offensively, you're looking at 42 points offensively in this entire season. Not good enough by any means. 21 points a game or 21 points in 2 games. Realistically, you're looking at about almost 14 points a game, 13 points a game through the 3 games. It's not a good look, let's just say the least, for the Steelers. But at the same time, they're leading the division. They are 2-1. They are definitely flawed, but we've seen they can be pretty frisky and kind of fun.
Defensively exclusively, not offensively.
Defensively exclusively. Offensively, it's just a matter of time. Obviously, Deontay Johnson's injury is a big pain there, but Calvin Austin, I mean, coming up for the big play there in the game. When Kenny Pickett has open guys and he can see the open guys, he's pretty good. It's just, can he see the open guys every time? There's some flaws. I don't want to demote him yet, but there's definitely some flaws
they're
there.
the tail end of this one for a reason. We're on the same page there. Like this one was tough. I just didn't want to drop a 2-1 team to USC ticket holders or something like that. Yeah, but they're tough. They're a tough one to place.
Yeah, and moving backwards now, I'm gonna go Texans. They're fine there with me. They are fun and they are frisky. They could beat some teams just as fast as they could lose. But that offense, I mean, CJ Stroud right now has that offense kind of clicking. 900 plus total yard, or 900 plus passing yards, and then I think it's like 100 plus rushing yards this season. Doing pretty good for himself. And Tank Dell, let's be honest, Tank Dell did a fantastic job this last weekend. Not too bad for a guy who's soaking wet, weighs less than most eighth graders bench press max. So yeah. Seahawks. Yeah, I mean, of course. Right now you have guys that can run all over everybody. Gino looks fine. Potentially this team, if they had just been able to win one more game, one of the games early on, could be in that 2-0 curse, or they undefeated potentially. Green Bay though is a big question mark for me because they can't stay healthy right now. Like, to me, I look at Green Bay as like if you could stay healthy, I might be okay with this one. But honestly, if nothing else, let me just move them to the end of this category. I feel like moving into the end of this category is the very minimum here. Exactly, just in front of the Steelers. Because if I'm not going to move the Steelers down, I'm not moving anybody down off this list. But yeah, and then look, Gardner Minshew. What else can I say? Gardner Minshew, Zach Moss. Gardner Minshew didn't do anything totally wrong. He kept the Colts in the game, but Zach Moss really is what showed up for the team. And if you can get Anthony Richardson back with Zach Moss playing like that, okay, this team is going to be really deadly. So yeah, I'd like to see that. We'll see how that goes with Anthony Richardson concussion protocol, but yeah, for right now, I like this. And then the Chargers, yes. This again, I talk about a team that could be much higher potentially if everybody was healthy. The loss of Michael Williams obviously is a problem. Depends on how long you lost him for. Obviously, we'll find that out this week. But yeah, I think this is a fine list for frisky and flawed and fun. Not frisky or fun, but flawed. So first one I need to move down here. I got to move one down. It's Tennessee. I'm just going to go straight to it. Tennessee, Pee Wee team plus Derrick Henry, and the only reason I'm including Derrick Henry in that list is because he's too massive, and I would never want to insult Derrick Henry to his face or behind his back, because then he'd turn around and then I'd have to insult him to his face, and I don't want that either. So Derrick Henry is the only reason this team even has a chance. They have the 32nd ranked defense last year for a defensive head coach. They are on pace to have the 32nd ranked defense again this year. And I mean, and it's going to be by a mile. They have the 32nd ranked defense. It's just not good. It's not good in Tennessee. Their offense looks anemic. Derrick Henry is not getting any yardage. Their backup is Tajay Spears.
Spears.
Yeah, Tajay Spears. And okay, that's all you got to say about that. I mean, he's averaging 3 yards a carry. I think Derrick Henry's averaging 2 point something. So not great for either back. Treylon Burks looks exactly like what I expected Treylon Burks to look like. Garbage. And D-Hop is, well, he's the old man. Like, he's there. He's just like Julio Jones was last year for Tennessee. I mean, he's there, but yeah. So yeah, this team, to me, USC's season ticket holders, they're hoping for Caleb Williams, because right now it's just not good for Tennessee. LA it's not as concerning. They do have some problems offensively. And obviously defensively. I mean, yeah, you can't lose Jalen Ramsey and expect to be still good. Is a big problem there. But I mean, I think this is a good place for him. Mac Jones and the Fighting New England Patriots. Lose Mac Jones and maybe you have a chance. I like Bailey Zappi season, please. And this team could change to a frisky, flawed, and fun team. But you're exactly right. They have too good of a defense. Bill Belichick should be too good of a defensive mind to be losing games in the fashion they lost. That just doesn't make sense. Mac Jones, grow up, dude. Like, you don't want to be who sack tap somebody in first of all in an NFL game as a grown man, and then in front of a live audience. Like, people are watching this game. I don't get it. So that one, to me, they're very close to being USC season ticket holders, because if they didn't have Bailey Zappi, I just need them to turn to Bailey Zappi already. Carolina is fine there. They didn't have Bryce Young anyways this last game, so well, I can't really put anything away from them. They still actually gave a fighting chance as well. So we'll see. But that defense does look really bad right now. New York's offense sucks. The Jaguars, what the heck is going on? If they can go in their own category, I would put them in their own category, and that category would be named WTF, is Urban Meyer still coaching you? And that's where I feel about that. But yeah, they're not bad enough to be USC season ticket holders. Now the USC season ticket holders, I have nothing to change here. Except for maybe the Cardinals might be better than we expected. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, that was just a bad.
They are better than we expected, but our expectations are so low. It still doesn't make too much of a difference, unfortunately.
Exactly. The Vikings, man, I gotta get something from your defense. Like literally anything. I didn't need an inkling that you're surviving. The only thing keeping you from being the worst defense is the fact that Mike Vrabel's defensive mind is broken, and he can't put a defense out there that's capable of anything. So yeah, like their offense looks fine. Their offense looks really good. Justin Jefferson, that poor guy. KJ Hamler, that poor guy. Addison, that poor guy. Like Hawkinson, poor guy. Like Kirk, God forbid I'm about to say this. I feel bad for Kirk Cousins. I hope Kirk Cousins gets traded to one of these teams that's in this category because he deserves better than this. He needs better. This is atrocious. Like I've called him mid of all mids, but he's not playing mid. He hasn't played mid since week 2 of last season for the most part. I mean, it's obviously I'm kidding. There's been a bad game here and there, but it's not been Benny. I mean, he's actually looked really well the last year and a half, and it's sad to see. Package him and Justin Jefferson, send him to the Jets, maybe bring back, I don't know, whoever you want to bring back. But yeah, and then the last one on the list. Can I put 2 empty lists in between the USC season ticket holders and this list? Because that Broncos team was awful. Let's talk about seeing ghosts. They were seeing ghosts from the first quarter. I mean, they were chasing ghosts. They were searching for them. It was bad. I don't have much to change about this list, obviously. I just that one big change being dropping the Titans because the Titans. But yeah, the Broncos are atrocious. And if I could put them at an under 6 feet of dirt and then put them in the tier, I would. But right now, this will just have to do because even Javonte Williams is not doing great. And that's disappointing as well.
A Broncos Russell Wilson was the bright spot of the team on Sunday. That's all you really need to know. And he played okay.
No, it's a Marvin Mims show.
That's fair.
I think Marvin Mims leads that team in reception and receiving yards. He has 7 total catches on the season.
And all of them have been in like the top 8 for big plays for the Broncos, top 8 of them, including his kick return. So like that team is atrocious. Somebody should either get fired, suspended. Either they need to figure something out, or Drew Brees is looking even better and better by the day. I will leave it at that right now. Drew Brees is looking awfully good right now. But
Carson Wentz looking real good right now.
That's true as well. We can go there. Anyone quarterback under Sean Payton?
Brock Osweiler is looking good right now.
Yeah, we can. And either way, Sean Payton, the mastermind for those Saints teams, not looking quite as strong right now. And we see why he went 7-9 for 3 years with Drew Brees at quarterback, throwing for 5,000 yards. But I digress. You can't play for them. Either way, this is what we have for Tier Tuesdays this week. Let us know in the comments down below what you like, what you dislike, who would move, and who you think is going to go down. We appreciate y'all for joining us this week on Tier Tuesdays. Catch our live show on Wednesday, of course, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time or wherever you like to get your favorite podcast from. We will see you all again next time.